Hi everyone, my name is Jia Hong and I am the peddling investor. Welcome to Turn Off Turn On Ventures USA edition. As part of a trip down to Los Angeles and the West Coast, I visited Rejoule, a company that uses electrochemical impedance spectroscopy to analyze and diagnose batteries in their current operating life to see if there's a potential to use them in a second life. So Zora and Stephen were very kind to open the doors to me when I visited, and here they are sharing with all of you more about what Second Life means at Rejoule. Enjoy.
Hello.
Hi.
This is Zora, Stephen from Rejoule, and they're going to tell us a bit more about how they bring Second Life to not just batteries.
So maybe we can start here in this corner. This stand that we have is actually the shelving units that came from some used batteries, and we thought we might be able to reuse them again in the Second Life application as well. In the meantime, it is our shelving unit, and it holds our markers as well as it keeps our whiteboard up. And as you can see, we have a lot of tables in this chair and these chairs that all do not match, and that's because we basically got them from offices and wherever we can find them. So we're reusing old furniture from other companies that are perfectly fine. They just wanted to upgrade. And even this TV that you see here was from my old apartment, and we decided to get a bigger TV, so we just brought this one into the office.
Perfect.
This is our official meeting TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then I can show you the break area where we have even our team members brought some of their old artwork. So here, this is area where people have lunch or take a break because in the lab you can't have food and water. But I noticed that these are just blank white walls. So we've asked team members just to bring old posters that they have that they aren't using anymore, so that at least we're not staring at blank white walls. So you can think of this as our used art museum. And there's some posters even behind here that still haven't been put up yet. So definitely trying to just bring whatever we can to keep the facility a little bit more colorful than just a white wall.
So down here in our warehouse area, these are a lot of used batteries, and these come from delivery trucks, like last mile delivery. So in one truck there was about 56 of these green batteries in a single vehicle, and there's about 9 vehicles worth of batteries in our facility, as you can see all over on pallets. We've tested all of these. We want to make sure they're safe and useful for a secondary Second Life deployment in energy storage paired with solar. So that's what we're doing in our California Energy Commission project. You can see there's other types of batteries, some from electric buses. And we've tested all of these with our diagnostic tools, as well as on some of our cycling equipment. You can see here our team is doing some cycle testing on these are previously material handling or batteries used in material handling vehicles. And so we're doing some testing on these, making sure they're all fresh or useful for other applications. So we are building some of our first units that's going to be shipping out to customers, and this is kind of a staging area where we have a lot of components that we collect here, keep inventory of, so that when we assemble, put everything together and test it, they're all ready and organized. And then here, because of the chip shortage, we're keeping track of our critical components, making sure we have enough of those. So becoming more and more critical to stock up on everything as we're fulfilling our orders. Here's a few of our units that's going to be shipping out next week. And these have a QC pass sticker on them. And so we've already done the assembly, sub-assembly testing, full unit testing. So these are ready to go, ready to be put into boxes and shipped out to some happy customers.
What's the best case scenario for Rejoule in terms of product? Like, in the ideal world, what does your product do in bringing second life?
Yeah. So in an ideal world, we would be able to plug a device into the charging port of a vehicle and be able to assess the battery's life while it's in its first life. So still inside the vehicle. And by being able to do that, we can kind of keep a running used battery inventory so that we can actually forecast future battery supply. Because when we're talking about stationary storage, these are all construction projects, right? You need a lot of, there's a lot of planning involved, and they hate risk. And used battery supply being unreliable, unpredictable, that's a huge risk. And so what we want to do is reduce that risk, create more certainty around what kind of batteries will be coming to market in the future, so that we can say something like, we know next quarter there will be 20 megawatt hours of 78% to 82% Nissan Leaf Gen 4 batteries available in the California region, and we can connect that information to a potential buyer developing a stationary storage site, so that the planning can be much more seamless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've seen Rejoule kind of kick off right from the start. We've been here in its whole journey. Mm-hmm. What's one of your favorite moments running this company?
Oh man.
Never been asked that one.
Yeah. Well, and the longer that we've been around, the harder it is to answer, because then there's like a lot of them. I think I'll pick one from like way in the beginning that really captures the transition that a lot of people ask me about, going from one of the biggest companies in the world, Walmart, to literally the smallest one that I could find at the time, because it was just Steven in a room by himself and some batteries. And this is when, obviously at that point we were bootstrapping, and we're just trying to get by with as little as possible and trying to figure out what's the right direction to go. And we needed to learn more about the industry, and we needed to meet people in the industry, and we heard about like a conference that was perfect. It was like the Advanced Automotive Battery Conference. It's like, okay, like clearly that's very specific to us versus just even a general battery conference. And but it was going to be like a few $1,000s to attend, and like that was all of our own money. So that's huge. And I talked to the conference organizer, told him about the case, not expecting much, and he said, we really want to encourage new companies to attend, because then like you can meet people and we want to support you. So even if you're only buying one ticket, I can give you the group rate, which would end up saving us $600, which is huge for us. And I remember like dancing around my apartment, being so excited that I was able to negotiate that, and that someone was so supportive that they were willing to give us a big discount. But on a correlator, even if I were to save Walmart $600,000 or $6 million, that would be a rounding error for them. Like obviously they would appreciate it, but it wasn't that important in the grand scheme of things. Whereas for us, like every dime that we spent was huge for us at the time. I mean, it still is now, and $600 is still meaningful now, but even back then it was even more important. Yeah.
That's such a great story.
So we have a cowbell, and Zora, you can introduce the significance of this cowbell.
So for those who haven't seen it, you definitely need to check out the SNL skit with Will Ferrell and I think Christopher Walken. This is pretty old, where they want more cowbell. So every time we get revenue from a customer, Steve and I actually do a bit in front of the team during a team meeting. And I would say to Steven, it's like, hey, you don't look so good. And Stephen would actually put on the aviator sunglasses that Christopher Walken was wearing and says,
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
And then that's when I start ringing the cowbell.
Well, thank you so much for the tour today. I'm really glad I came here to visit. And all the best to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.